Have you ever considered using an online banking system to handle your business banking? It's one of the growing options out there for business owners, and yet there are some hesitancies of not having a physical brick and mortar. One of the top business banking platforms out there is Relay Financial, and today I'm going to do a deep dive into them, a tutorial, and ultimately tell you whether I think it's a viable option or not for you and your business. What's going on, everybody? Craig here, and I'm a profit coach who loves helping people and businesses break the check-to-check cycle so they can finally find some peace of mind when it comes to their money. Relay Financial is one of the top online business banking platforms that helps you open accounts, manage your finances, all simply from your computer or your smartphone. Now, traditionally, you would go to a brick and mortar bank and work with a teller to handle your accounts and all the other things you need to do. But more and more, we're seeing platforms offer business banking to you all from your smartphone or from your computer. The question a lot of people have is this reliable? Is this something that I could actually use in my business? And how would that look like not being able to physically go in and handle details with a person? Well, I'm going to show you exactly how Relay Financial works. We're going to do a breakdown of their software, their platform, and then at the end, I'm going to tell you whether I think it is good or not for businesses, and ultimately how you can decide if it's the right fit for you. All right, when you start your Relay Financial account, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set things up. And so over here on the top left, you can see that there is a setup tab with some action steps. When we click on it, there's going to be some progress bars and things that you'll want to do to take care of getting your account set up inside of Relay. Now, this is actually really nice because sometimes the overwhelming task, if you already have a business banking platform that you're using or you're banking in another bank, it can be overwhelming trying to transfer things over, right? We're thinking, okay, I've got to open these new accounts. I have to go and deposit the money from my old bank into this new banking system. I need to change where bills are being auto charged from. And so one thing I really do like about this process is they give you the step-by-step of what you need to do. You know, right here, you can see create your Relay accounts. And so you just click a button. It's going to explain how that works, how many accounts you can have. As you can see, there's no account fees, which is another really big benefit to using Relay Financial. We use Profit First as our cash management system with our clients, which means we're using a lot of bank accounts. We use at least 5 or 6 accounts with every client. Some clients use more. So the fact that they allow you to not only have free accounts, no fees, but up to 20 will really helps with that process. There's never that stress of, oh, I need to add another account. All right, so we hit get started. You're gonna be able to create your accounts here. So if you just wanna start with a few, if you wanna start with one checking and one savings account, that's fine. You just nickname what the account is, and then you come over here and you're gonna choose. Is it going to be a checking? Is it gonna be a savings account? And so as you go through, you can add more accounts. You can nickname them whatever you want them to be nicknamed and decide, do I want this to be a checking account or a savings account? All right, the next thing you're going to want to do is bring your money over from your old bank into this new banking system. And so they make it easy right here where you can link your external accounts to Relay. This is actually really nice, not only to bring your money over so you're not having to go withdraw at the account and then come try and deposit or whatever you would actually need to do or writing yourself checks. You can just transfer it directly through. But what's actually really nice is as you're going through that transition phase of using your old system and now using this new platform, maybe you have deposits coming in at the old bank. Maybe it takes a while for those to change. Maybe you have expenses still getting pulled from that other one. This makes it really easy for you to just bring money back and forth as needed until you're fully integrated into using Relay Financial. So the way we connect it, we're going to come through here. You'll find your bank. You're going to log in that way. And then your accounts are connected and you can easily just do a bank-to-bank transfer. Once those are connected, we can then come in and we can actually move the money. And so when you do that, we'll click move money. You'll click here and it's going to show your account. So if you're banking at Wells Fargo before, you've connected your Wells Fargo account, you're going to choose that bank. We're going to go ahead and pick which account do we want to drop it into. Maybe it's the income account. And then we're going to look and see how much do we want to bring over. Is it $5,000? And then that's going to actually come in and deposit. It's showing that perfect. We're confirming it, done. And then it's going to actually transfer that money over. Now, as you can see, it will take 1 to 3 business days. Anytime you're doing a bank-to-bank transfer, it might take a day or two. And that's why we recommend actually fully bringing over, staying at one bank essentially is what we recommend our clients do. So instead of having stuff managing over at this Wells Fargo and then also using Relay, we would suggest if you're wanting to move over to Relay, bring everything over, do all of your money management inside of there, pay your bills, all your deposits coming through Relay. One other really nice thing that I like is once your accounts are connected, they detect recurring transactions. So it almost is like this checklist of saying, oh yes, this account charges me once every month or this account deposits in. So it does this thing where you can see just right there, makes it easy for you to go through and say, okay, these are the platforms platforms where I need to go and update my payment information. The next thing we want to look at is the accounts page. And so we're going to come over here and you'll see visually we can get a pretty good look at what accounts we have, how much we have in each of those accounts. Up here at the top, what I like is we can see the total available balance here. So the total of all of these accounts is what we have up here. And then each individual account is listed. Now over here on the left, we can click on external accounts and it's going to be able to show us the connected accounts that we have. We can click manage accounts where we can schedule out transfers, do wire transfers, whatever you need to do. Probably not things you're going to be using on the regular, but it is there and it's available. Then of course we have statements, and then we'll talk about the auto transfer rules that you can set up here in just a minute. I want to at least get a visual look at each account. What does it look like when we click on it? This is where we can come through and you can see this is where we made that deposit just now, pulling money over from Wells Fargo. There's also the page where you might add a new account. And so again, with our clients, we might be adding accounts as we go. If they're going to hire a new employee, if we're saving for a building, whatever we're doing, we might go ahead and just create a brand new account. And so maybe we title it new employee. We're going to come down here. We decide, do we want it checking? Do we want it savings? And then you can add team members in here. And so we'll talk about how to do that. But if you have a team of people that you want to have access to certain accounts or to Relay, you can add them in here. And then with each account, you can decide, are they able to access it or not? Truthfully, this functions like most business banking platforms do. You got your account numbers, you can see your stream of transactions. So the functionality here is pretty seamless with most experiences is what I've found. One thing I did want to note is if you come up here to these three dots, you can request a bank verification letter. This is great if you're updating maybe through your payroll or you need to update some kind of deposit, direct deposit, where they require a voided check or something. You can use this in lieu of that to help make that switch. All right, next we're going to be looking at how to move money. So again, with Profit First, we're moving money through these accounts. We can send a payment out to one of our other banks. Again, if you need to do that to one of the previous banks you were using, but we're going to do transfer money. This is where we transfer from one account to the other. Now, it's pretty straightforward. We're going to pick the account that we're moving money from. So we're going to maybe pull money out of this income account and we want to transfer it to which account do we want to transfer to. You'll click here. We're going to pick maybe just profit. We can decide, is it a one-time transfer? Is it a recurring transfer? Recurring, we can decide how frequently do we want it to actually move that money. I'm going to do a one-time transfer. Then I might make a note here, profit distribution or whatever I want to put as I move that money down. Of course, we need to put in how much we're going to be transferring. So maybe it's $500. Then we hit next. It's going to give you the option to confirm, and then you can initiate that transfer, moving that money over. Now, one of my favorite things that they do, and this is fairly new within the last year, is they offer auto transferring. Now, we have a few ways you can do that. You can choose a maximum balance where if you have an account that hits $10,000, anything over that will automatically be transferred out. So that's a great way to, if your business is just booming that month and you want to make sure that cash doesn't just get spent, that it gets maybe set off to the side into a savings account, into a retained earnings account. So that's one way to do it. The way we use it with our clients most is the Profit First rule. Now, if you're not familiar with Profit First, that is basically saying we're going to take money from one account, our income account, and we're going to move it to these other accounts based on percentages. And that's what they let you do here. So we can create a rule and we can decide how much do we want to move to which accounts. So I'm going to nickname this one Profit First. We're going to say every week on a Friday, you can decide how much you want to keep in your account. First of all, I'm going to pick my income account because that's the account we're moving everything from. So if you don't want to just completely drain that income account, you can leave an amount that you want in there, but I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to take everything out. All right, I'm going to decide I'm going to put 50% into owner's pay. We're going to put 30% into operating expenses. We're going to put 15% into taxes, and we're going to put 5% into profit. And you'll see it tells us our total percentage down here. If you want to do another one on top of those, you can click here. Maybe you wanted something to go into payroll. So maybe instead of we do 15 and 15 and we put some money into payroll, that's fine too. Then we create that auto transfer rule. That means every week on Friday, we're going to keep $0 in the income account. We're going to transfer whatever else is in there to these other accounts. And it's going to start this coming Friday, March 8th. So from there, it's every week. You don't have to log in and move money around. Now, what I do recommend with people who are starting Profit First for the first time is maybe you save this for after you've been integrated into the system and you're used to it and you've been able to allocate the money on your own. And the reason I say this is because we want you to be engaged and we want you to be keeping a really close eye on that cash. However, once this becomes second nature to you, this is something that you've gotten used to, then you can automate this and money will be automatically moved every week for you and you don't have to log in and actually physically move the money. Now, some of these accounts are going to need some debit cards. And so if you come over here, you can order new cards. You can order some for if you have multiple people who need them. What I like is you can do a virtual card or you can do a physical card. So if it's not one you need to carry around, maybe you just need one for your online payments. Maybe you just want one for your employees so that they don't actually carry around. They just have something so they can make online orders. You can create virtual cards. So you can nickname whatever it is. Let's just say office supplies. So you can do, again, shared cards. This is one that multiple people can use, or if it's just for you, it's who you're assigning it to. You're going to add your team members in, and then you'll pick who's going to have that. You're going to decide which account is it pulling from, operating expenses, and then you can define a spending limit. How much do you want them to spend? What's that max they can spend each day, each month, etc. Now you can have your team members upload their receipts. You can upload receipts. There's 2 ways to do that. You hop in here, you just drag and drop your receipts here, and it should categorize it. The other option is you can just, if you get email receipts, you can set them up to forward to this email address, and it'll auto match the relevant transaction to the receipt for you. Now, as I said before, you can add team members. So the way to do that is you click over here on team. We're going to click add a new team member. You can either manually add them, or you can import people from your Gusto payroll. So if you're using Gusto as your payroll system, it'll connect. You can integrate it, connect it to Gusto, and then you can pull people in that way. You're going to decide what their permission level is. So, administrators can have access to everything. Maybe they have access to paying bills. Maybe they're a card holder. Or if you want them to have read only or deposit only, so they can't really do anything but see what's in the accounts or deposit money into the accounts, that's fine too. One last thing you can do is if you have multiple businesses, we're going to come down here under settings and add business, and you can use one login and then just switch between your owned businesses. So for example, I have my coaching business and I have my music business. So theoretically I could have one login and I could just jump back and forth between my coaching business and my music business and see how each one's doing and manage them individually, but without having to log out and then log back in. Lastly, there's some integrations you can do where you can connect your bookkeeping. So if you have QuickBooks or Xero, you can connect that to Relay so that those transactions go into your bookkeeping, makes it easier for your bookkeepers to reconcile. You could set up bill pay through those two as well. There's forwarding systems, like if you're using a receipt bank for collecting your receipts, it can automatically connect to that. And then like we talked about earlier, connecting your payroll here is super important. So if you're using Gusto, if you're using QuickBooks, whatever you're using for your payroll, connecting it here so that it can manage it there. But then again, as we were talking about, being able to pull individual team members in from Gusto directly, this is how you would do it, is by connecting it. Now, if you are handling cash, it's important to know where you can make the withdrawals or where you can make deposits. So again, there's not a physical brick and mortar bank with Relay, so they offer all-point ATMs. And so those are all over the place. There's a link on their website where you can find all-point ATMs. Usually they're in Walgreens or CVS's or Walmart's or Kroger's or whatever it is. So look it up. You can just do a search near your area and it's going to come up with all these ATMs. You can make deposits or withdrawals from these with no fees. There will be financial limits, of course, but it makes it pretty simple if you are managing cash that you can go in and handle those deposits and withdrawals. The only drawback would be if you're dealing with lots and lots of cash, you may not be wanting to manage deposits of that magnitude at an ATM. That's where you may prefer an in-person place if your business is a primarily cash business. So there you have it. That is Relay Financial. And truthfully, it comes down to, is this something that would fit for your business? Now, my opinion is this is an incredible option for businesses to use to manage their finances. One of the biggest hurdles we see with our clients is the actual opening of accounts. And oftentimes, as we're working with people using the Profit First system, we'll want to open up a business checking account to help with whatever goal they're working on. The problem is sometimes that means they have to go into the branch, they have to meet with an individual, have to fill out paperwork just to open one new account. Whereas using something like Relay Financial, you can hop on and in a minute, you're going to have a brand new account open. We can create debit cards. We can do whatever we need to do with that account. And it's really easy and quick to use. Relay has become the first platform we recommend to our clients when they're looking for business accounts. That's simply because it's ease of use. And so I highly recommend checking it out. I used Relay Financial myself for my music business, and truthfully, it worked great. I never need to go into the bank to meet with people. In fact, even when I was with the credit union, I never went in. I did everything from my phone. I did mobile deposits from there. I don't deal with cash in my business. So truthfully, needing to go into a branch was unnecessary. So being able to hop online and open accounts and do all these things really quickly and easily is incredibly appealing to me. And I was really, really happy with the experience. Let me know your thoughts. How do you feel about using an online business banking platform to manage your business finances? Drop in the comments below. Have you tried Relay Financial before? Now, if you saw this and you're going, this is what I've been looking for, we have a link in the description below for you to sign up for Relay Financial, click that link and go ahead and give it a shot. Like I said, by the end of the day, you should have your accounts open and you should be ready to roll with everything. Now, we all know that business banking platforms are just one piece of the puzzle. So if you need help setting up and getting organized with your finances, that's what we do. We help businesses just like yours do exactly that. So open your Relay Financial accounts and then reach out to us, and we would love to help you get organized and get on a game plan where you can utilize this business banking platform tool to your benefit. To meet with one of our coaches, we have a link in the description as well. Jump on our calendars, and we look forward to talking to you more. Thank you for joining me on this video. That's it for this week. We will see you in the next one, and take care.